Welcome into Game Day Live. It is the CEBL Finals, game number 1. I'm Joey Slattery. That is Matt Bonomi, and we cannot be happier to be here. The Brampton Honey Badgers looking for their second ever CEBL championship. First one in Brampton. Meanwhile, the Sea Bears looking for that first ever championship in franchise history. There is a buzz in this building for sure today. And before we get started, just want to shout out, I don't know if you guys can see me okay. It's a little tough with my lighting here, but shout out to our sponsors making this happen. Holt Dental, Zwieke, Monday's Cafe, and Finn's on Grant. I know some people are already on their way to Finn's tonight. Finn's has the official teal party, the viewing party in Winnipeg for this Sea Bears Game 1 here live in Brampton at the CAA Center. Monday's Cafe, home of the $2 large coffee. Great coffee, great people. Go there multiple times a week. Can't recommend it enough. And Zwieke, rocking some good Zwieke stuff today. Check out their campus at 65 Trotter Bay. And then we got Holt Dental on 1176 Taylor Avenue, a day one OG sponsor of this content. Happy to have everybody aboard. And we have a special guest standing by here, Matt. And sorry, we're really high end here. You're going to have to borrow my
Hey.
All right, come right in here, John. So
there's a reason he's the jack of all trades, man. He's flexible. He makes stuff happen. He gets things done, even in the hardest of atmospheres.
Sounds good. Can you hear Matt okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, beauty. Okay, so John, so this is John Ross with are you the general assistant general manager and all around great guy for the Brampton Honey Badgers? Just here we are, game 1 in Brampton. I know it was a kind of a long roundabout way to get here, but how does it feel to finally be here?
No, it feels amazing. We're fired up. We're just so happy for everyone, for the players, the coaches, the staff. It's been. We started 7-1, and then we lost 9 of 11, and then we kind of started click. Obviously, you want to click at the right time at the end of the season, and our guys have been connected the whole year, even through the ups and downs. The staff, the coaches, and paid off at the right time and got us to the finals.
Now, John, one of the things that we've talked about a ton this year, whether it's you, whether it's head coach Alex Serta, team CEO Al Whitley, GM Jermaine Anderson. The word culture seems to come up a ton. What has gone into the culture, and what about this culture do you think is so special that this team has been able to kind of take this next step from a team that was 5-19 last year?
Yeah, no, culture's been everything for us. I think one of the important things we set out, in December, me, Jermaine, and Al got together on phone calls. Me and Jermaine had never even met till December. We met in Orlando at the G League Showcase. But culture was everything. We wanted to find the right group of people, players and staff who would do what's right for each other, and we wanted to do right by them. So our whole thing was how can we get people to a better place? And so I think a big piece of that is to look at Jameer Nelson. We signed Jameer. That was huge for our franchise to sign Sean East and Jameer Nelson. Jameer's agent called me. He's like, hey, he's got this really great offer in Puerto Rico. He'd like to take it. And we all just jumped on board for him. We're like, hey, that's what we're about here. It sucks that we never got him here, but we are pro player and we're pro staff. And if anyone gets a better opportunity, we want that for them. So that's something we started like I said, months before the season started, is how can we get everyone to a better place? And when we got here, Coach Serta always preached that too. We want to win. We want to be in big games because that's when the eyes are on you. And that's when you get to better places for all of us. And so everybody bought in from day one of we're in this together and we're going to all rise together. I think a lot of times these things can get competitive, even, obviously amongst teams, but then even amongst own players and staffs on own teams. And that never happened here. Everybody was for each other. And anyone who wasn't for each other didn't last long in our culture. And we made some changes we felt that were necessary to have everybody bought in, and it's paid off.
Well, you talked about the second half of the season, and then it ends with the melee in Scarborough, and you have some suspensions. Roddy Peters is making his playoff debut tonight in the nick of time here in the finals. But the games that you won in those last 2 games particularly, you take into the tough slog you had to get to this point, then you beat Ottawa, the team that a lot of people had as a prime upsetter in these playoffs. And then you follow that up with a win against Niagara, who traveled well here too. They had their fan base here as well. And you beat the 2-time defending champions. I mean, how does that affect the confidence when you beat 2 teams like that after overcoming the second half of the season you did?
Yeah, and the confidence, it's at a high right now, and like you just said, we haven't even had our full roster together at all, which is normal for the CEBL. I don't want to say like we're anything different, but those that road trip where we beat Winnipeg at Winnipeg was just a huge moment. Like our guys, it kind of felt like it clicked. Like, hey, like we know we're good, but like now we just showed it. Like when we won at Winnipeg, and that was without Trenton, and Trenton and Sean hadn't played together yet. And then came back in a gritty win versus Montreal, and then then we got into the brawl with Scarborough. But even that, it's like we had a lot of respect with the guys. They were there for their teammates, and they did what was best for each other. That's what we preach before the game: unity, togetherness, physicality, and they were there for each other. And even from the staff, like taking care of those guys, like in the locker room, like our medical team was all over it. They stayed with Tegra the whole night. They took him to the hospital. They took him out to dinner. Like it was just like that connectedness from like the top to bottom, where and then practices. Roddy and Tegra were a huge part of preparing for the playoffs, even though they weren't available. And then Tegra was available for the next game. Now Roddy's available, but had that not happened, like we don't know if Tyrese would have came back, because we had to get Roddy playoff eligible, and Tyrese went home. And then when Roddy got suspended, the first phone call was to Tyrese's agent: "Is Tyrese ready to come back?" And thankfully Tyrese was ready to come back, and now it's pretty cool because as much transition as you go through the whole year, it feels like we're finishing with our guys. It's like Sean, Cam, Tyrese, guys who've been there since the beginning. And so obviously we've added a couple pieces since then, but it's a lot of the guys we started the season with that we're getting to finish the season with.
And you're getting a pretty strong Winnipeg team, obviously. I mean, a team that a lot of people had as one of the top dogs in the Canadian League Basketball League Season 8 here. Teddy Allen obviously is not playing for this team right now, unfortunately, because of the mishap at the end of the season there. Again, we want to extend our best wishes to Teddy and a speedy recovery. But we obviously want the best rosters at the end of the season for every team because you want the best players on the court. Head coach Serta said that to us after that before that Scarborough scuffle when they were chasing 20 wins and they had the East locked down. But you always want to play the best team. How hard is it for you guys to game plan and not discount a Winnipeg team that doesn't include one of the MVP finalists in the league?
Well, we have a ton of respect for Winnipeg. We know Xavier Moon's one of the best players in the league, and all their pieces fit. Xavier has the ability to raise up every single player on the team. He gets everyone involved. Those guys have been shooting lights out the last few games. We weren't surprised that they beat Vancouver just by how they've been connected and playing together. So, we have a ton of respect for them. They have a lot of talented players on their roster. And I'm happy for them, too. Like, happy to see their success. They play together. They play the right way. Xavier's a great human being. So, a lot of respect for them, their team, their franchise.
Last question for me. This is kind of a new look for both teams playing each other. As you said, you have your full roster here now. Winnipeg is a totally different look after losing Jeremiah Tillman, Emmanuel Acott, and Teddy Allen. How much of this first game is a bit of a feeling out, too? Because this is the first game that both teams are playing that's not single-game elimination. And, one of these unique situations where you can kind of look, I won't say long-term, but short-term. You've got a little bit of a feel of it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a feeling out, but also it's game one of the finals, a 3-game series. You have to just dive right into it. And so, we all obviously know Xavier's going to make them go. Sean East is going to make us go. And, both teams are going to prepare for that accordingly.
Get the popcorn ready. Do you have another one there, Matt?
I got a final one. He always does the Mount Rushmore questions on the Target Score podcast. John, if you were to win the Canadian League Basketball League, a title this year, the Brampton Honey Badgers, where would that rank on your all-time basketball moments?
As a person in management, that would be number one. It would be incredible to win a championship here in the CEBL, specifically, with this group. What I always say, like the thing that's so special about championships is, all of us, especially the CEBL, next week, we're all going to be on a different team. Everybody in this gym is going to be playing for a different team, coaching a different team, managing a different team. And we'll never be in the same room together unless we win a championship. Then you have your 5-year reunion, your 10-year reunion, your 20-year reunion. And it's the kind of group that I would love to be connected to the rest of my life. And so a championship does that. So hopefully we can get that and we can all stay connected through that bond.
John, I appreciate it very much. Making the time here ahead of game one. Good luck tonight. Looking forward to seeing it. We'll catch up with you soon. All right.
Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Thank
Take
you.
care. All right. That was John Ross, the assistant general manager of the Brampton Honey Badgers. All around good dude. I love it. You know what?
Thanks,
you know
John.
that he's a good dude because here we are. I had to share my ear pod because, again, we've got this great, high-end production value. I look like a shadow. I'm trying to put my light on myself here to make myself have some sort of face, but try my absolute best.
You know what it's called? It's called championship glow, Joey. You got it. You got a little halo on top of your head. It looks good, man. It looks good. I would leave it.
Here. Oh, we got Chris. What's up, Chris Wiggins?
Oh, Wiggins.
Chris.
I'll give you the reason why, Chris, right here. We got warm-ups coming up here. We got an hour and a half before tip-off here at the CA Center. Joey's boys, the Winnipeg Sea Bears, getting some touches early. It started off with Isaiah Osborne out here taking shots. Trey McGowan's out here, and then more have flocked to the court here for warm-ups.
And Reloan's in the chat asking, what's that loud crackling noise? Could have been the dribbling. Also, this place is just one big tin box, the CAA Center, and it's pouring rain outside off and on. So we keep hearing, I don't know if you guys can hear it coming through the speakers, but it's super loud when it rains. So that could also be the crackling along with the dribbling. But we're going to try our best to keep it as good as possible here. Oh, hey, what's up, Joe? Lester Joe, let's go Sea Bears, tuning in from the UK. Always love having you on board here, Joe. Good to see you. Everybody else too. I got John McTavish here. John's asking, anyone know how many tickets are sold for Saturday? I hear it's just about a sellout. So buy them now. Don't mess around because you don't want to miss out. And I think if they get the green light, they're going to open the upper deck. And like I said, man, Steel Party, 15,000. Let's do it. I cannot push that enough. I also apologize. It's been so busy, so I haven't really been on Instagram as much as I normally am. So if you guys have messaged me, I know I just saw my text and there's a million. So I'll try to get back to everybody. This is a crazy fun time of year. But hey, let's start talking about the game here, Matt. First things first. There's an excitement here. They have a special game ball this year. I forgot to grab one to show, but they have finals. It's not final specific. What are they called? Like it's a memento almost, right? They have the little stamp, 2026 CEBL finals. Talked to DJ Burns before this one. DJ was talking about, being here and this time of year. I have back-to-back clips here with him and Xavier Moon. So let's just take a listen to DJ Burns first.
As a competitor, as an athlete, when you play in a high-level competition, it's just the type of atmosphere and this type of situation you want. You want the marbles all on the table, for just a game or two. So, as an athletic, as a competitor, I can't ask for nothing else more, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's, everybody here is super jacked. But you know what, Matt Bonomi? There's one player that's incredibly excited to be here because I don't think he ever had in his plans to be back in this league, let alone in the finals. And he has a chance to make some history here. Let's hear from Xavier Moon.
It's actually hard to put it into words, man. Another finals appearance. New team, but same goal. Looking forward to the atmosphere, the competitiveness of both teams. Hopefully we can come out on top.
What was it like being in the gym today? Does it feel a little different?
Oh, man, it feels great. Like the energy, I feel that rushing energy already. Just knowing this game day, man. And I kind of like this series style. First game on the road and then the last two at home. So I'm looking forward to see what it looked like in here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting here tonight. Check the tickets before we came here. There's less than like a quarter of a section left in this arena that's available. I'm not sure if it's going to be filled, but tickets here are almost sold out at CAA Center. Someone had brought up, I think it was Exo. What's up, Exo? Flexi Eric. Flexo. We should be calling him Flexo for sure. Where are my comments here? Because he brought up a good point. Everybody in Winnipeg knows Anton. He is the hype guy for the Sea Bears. Yeah, the Sea Bear staff will be here tonight. They were flown out, so there's going to be a ton of teal in the building. There's some season ticket holders that are here as well. It's going to be a good showing for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. But it's also the matchup is interesting too, Matt, because as we heard John Ross talk about, these are two teams that haven't really seen each other play, at least at this version of them.
Yeah, this is the complete roster. I'm just on a mission right now, Joey. I'm trying to find you that ball. We just had one in our hands. The final balls are pretty rare around here, but I'll get you something else in the meantime as we proceed here. But this is the most complete roster I think we've seen for Brampton the entire season. I mean, you talk about having Trenton Flowers healthy. You talk about having Sean Easton in full season mode. You have additions, guys stepping up like Tegra Ize. Matthew Moncrief is hitting his streaky point here. The only real guy that I could think of that you could maybe ask more of or hope for different results is Cam Tyson. But I mean, even then, he's been solid. Like, he had double-digit points in that conference finals. So I mean, it's really hard to ask for more from this Brampton team. But for Winnipeg, like we said the other day, like, it's almost in a weird way like rags to riches. That's how I think I view it, and a lot of people that I've talked to viewed it. When there was no Teddy Allen, when there was no Acott, when there was no Tillman, I think a lot of people waved the flag, and now it's like they filled in so well that there really is no, like, there's nothing to really worry about. I mean, like John Ross just said to us, this is still a scary team. Like, this is a team that took down 2 opponents in the playoffs without Teddy, and you really don't know what to expect of them. So it almost makes it harder to kind of scout maybe without their MVP in the lineup, because who's going to take over? Like, Simon Hildebrand dropping those 24 the other day. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. And now it's like, you don't really know. Like, he's hitting shots out here right now that I probably have never seen Simon Hildebrand hit in a game, right? So it's it is probably, again, the most complete roster setup that you could ask for. And exactly something that I think we were all expecting and hoping that would be the case.
This is the loudest arena I've ever been in. I'm sorry if it's loud for you guys too. I have no idea how this is sounding for you, but
I'm going to give you a visual. I'm going to give you a visual in the meantime.
Oh, bait. Whoa, leave it there. Leave it there. Hold on. We got to get a nice close-up of this. That's what it's all about right there. The trophy is in the house tonight. TSN is in the house tonight. Rod Black is going to be here. I think he said with Charles Kissy. CBC has their own panel, so you can watch it on TSN. You can watch it on CBC, TSN, Gem Plus, CBL Plus, YouTube. It's everywhere. So yeah, this is that's a beautiful. I love that trophy. I absolutely love that trophy.
They just had Alex Serta do his pregame interview here with the TSN folks. Esper and Haney in the building doing the interview with them. So he just walked by, dapped this up. He's excited, man. They're very into this. And,
well, hey, we talked. Go ahead, sorry.
3,200 tickets sold. 3,200 tickets sold for tonight, which would be the largest crowd to date in Brampton since they've moved here. So expecting a crazy crowd.
I love it. Well, as we talked about, we heard from John Ross about these new rosters. Mike Rainbow also talked to him this morning at the game here, and I didn't even see who that was.
The voice of the team, Jake, on the PA.
Oh, that's awesome. Here's Mike Rainbow, though. He was talking about the new look team. Here's what he had to say about these new teams.
Yeah, again, I think going back to sort of maintaining a level of normalcy. All season, the rosters change and who's in the lineup and who's out of the lineup, and you have to just be nimble in terms of, hey, what do you expect from personnel and what are the different things they do with certain people on the floor. So it's really no different than any of the preparation we've had for other games. There's a bit of some new nuances, and we got to be prepared to see some different things.
Yeah, it's gonna try to have Matt Bonomi in one spot in Brampton. He is like, I don't know how to explain it. He's who's the biggest celebrity we have? He's like the Carter Chen of Brampton. I don't know if that's a proper.
I don't even know who that is. Oh,
Ritz Cracker, baby. I can't believe you don't know that, but. Yeah, this is we're gonna try and keep you as senior as we can.
I'm going back to a seat here. I gotta get away from the Brampton end, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah, here's thanks Stat Guy Ty. So it's TSN 5 tonight is where it's at, and CBC. Here we'll get through the interviews here as it's getting a little loud. Talked to Alex Serta earlier before the game too, and he was talking about the character of this team. We talked about that roundabout way, the long way of getting here. But, we talked about the character this team's had all season.
Credit to the guys. I was telling him earlier, just it goes back to having a high character group, and that's what we stood out to get. Just we wanted guys with high character. And then the guys really believing in the culture. Like, even when the games were not going our way, just really doubling down on our beliefs and understanding that our culture, staying connected, staying together, staying unified was going to help us ultimately, at the end of the day, get back to where we want to go. And so I think our guys just believed in each other, believed in the culture, believed in our system, and it kind of got us back on track at the right time.
Yeah, this is a team that's peaking at the right time, and the best teams know when to peak, right? We've seen teams have good starts, Brampton included, but that's not when you win the championship. Now, I want to give Brampton a little credit, right? We talk about Matt, the teams and how fluid these rosters can be. But all of the players that have been up to this point have contributed in some way, Winnipeg and Brampton, right? If it's not for that 7-1 start, Brampton's not in these playoffs based on how they played in the second half of the season. So it really does take a full season to get here, but they are playing their best basketball here. I don't know why this one. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that number up. But they've been their best basketball by a long shot in these last two games, and they've got some players back. We talked yesterday. You weren't there. We had our daily show yesterday. And we talked about Matthew Moncrief and Keon Ambrose Hilton having an opportunity to play big here. Another player that has not seen the floor yet in these finals is Rodney Peters, and he's a guy that can have a huge impact. They brought him in not as a fill-in, but for a reason. He's a scorer. Here's what Alex Serta had to say this morning about the team. Not only Peters coming in, but really seeing this team all together for the first time tonight.
He's a big part of our team and just how how he just really assimilated into the group. It's good, and it honestly presents a unique challenge as well because we haven't had all of these guys together yet. So it's yet to TBD to see what we get. We believe it's going to be good, but we got to go out there and see what the chemistry is looking like. But we're happy overall to have them back. We'll have 5 import guards for us today playing and Canadian bigs, so we're looking forward to it.
It's so loud. I hope you can hear me, man. I honestly, I don't think I've ever been in an arena so loud in my life. And there's not even anybody in here yet, so this will be a fun time. But, you look at Brampton, you call all of these games. What are you most looking forward to tonight here? What do you think is most important for Brampton to set up here in game one?
First and foremost, on the Roddy Peters stuff, man, that guy's a killer. He's got dog instincts. He's a vet. He's 31 years old. He's been around the block. He's won in different parts of the world. So he kind of has that juice in him, that chip on his shoulder, that he knows what it takes to get the job done. And I think that was a real important piece for this team. I mean, he's only played, maybe 6 games or 5 games. He scored double digits in all those games. But a culture guy, it takes a lot to crack this team, I would say, because the culture is so important. But to have a guy like that come in here and fit right in, it's a tip of the cap to Jermaine Anderson, Alex Serta, the whole front office, and getting him done. I mean, they wanted him. He actually reached out to Mike Gerling, on assistant coach for Brampton, in his DMs, saying I'm interested in playing. Gerling knows his agent. They went back and forth, and that's how he got a spot here, and well deserved. I got a ball just fly by me here, but one of the
things, Nations arrive.
There you go. One of the things that I'm certainly looking forward to, man, is just to continue to watch this duo of Sean East and Trent Flowers. I mean, they connect so well. Let me face his face here. They connect so well throughout the season that it just kept getting better and better. It was the gift that kept on giving, and I think what those guys flourish, or when those guys flourish, or when they play their best basketball is when the games mean the most. And talking to Trenton, he said, when the big moment comes, I want to be the guy. I want to be the guy that does whatever it takes, whether it's hitting the shot, taking the charge, finding my open man. And they've worked so well together that I'm just so happy that now people get to see them on a national stage throughout the playoffs, especially in this game. And again, they're going up against guys that are this is no Joe team with random players that are just happy to be here, right? This is their biggest test, and I think a lot of people, myself included, are curious to see how they'll respond. We've seen them do it against, teams on their way here, but to get to the top of the mountain and have to face the best of the best, I'm really curious to see how these guys will respond. And from a Brampton standpoint, I'm hoping it's a good one. From the Serta boys standpoint, we're keeping things all light and easy here, and under our breath, hoping that Brampton wins. But I just think I'm just happy for Winnipeg fans to see this kind of basketball too. Something that we haven't had here in Brampton in the last 3 years until this year. So it's nice. I think the guard play is going to be something that I'm super excited to see, and the Cam Tyson play. I'm high on Cam Tyson, man. I love Cam Tyson. I love watching him play, but I said last game he needed to have a double-digit performance in order to be a game changer, and that he did. So I think if he gets the 3-ball going in this game, he'll be in a good spot, and the team will be in a position to win.
And here, actually, this is a great segue because Trenton Flowers caught up with him today, too. He talked about the guard matchup here. 2 elite groups of guards going head-to-head.
I mean, no, we do. But again, man, I like us versus anybody in the league. You know, I feel like if you put talent by talent, player by player, you know, we have the best roster out of anyone in the league. And, you know, again, they have great guards. You know, I was with the Clippers when Xavier Moon was there a little bit. So, you know, I'm very familiar with this game. Super talented, fast, quick, can score at all 3 levels, pass the ball. So, you know, I think for us it's just being able to contain our matchups and then just being able to play our game.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, for Winnipeg, everybody you talk to on Brampton, the first player they bring up is Xavier Moon. He's, you know, an all-time great in this league, 3-time MVP, 2-time champion, and, you know, he's really changed the course of the season here for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. They've lost 3 main players, Matt, this year, right at the end of the season that were integral parts of this team. But it hasn't brought down the quality of the basketball. It's just changed the way that they're bringing, like, the looks are coming for the defense. He's a guy that is quick. He can score. He can facilitate. And he's going to be a lot of trouble here. And I think that's going to be the big one for, you know, Brampton. It sounds easy. Stop Xavier Moon. But the thing is, Xavier Moon, if he's not scoring, he's finding other ways to contribute. And it's easier said than done to slow him down.
And that's one of the things that you say too, Joey, that's like, that resonates so much with us here in Brampton, and to see the Sea Bears continue to warm up here. One of the things that we've seen in the past is this Brampton team, when they face a player like Xavier Moon, it was easy to roll over. They'd be down 10 points at the end of the first quarter, or down 20 at half or something, and they'd punt the game. Respectfully, it was just one of those things where it was like, we're down, we can't get it done, we're done. That's the different demeanor that this team has. It's a different demeanor that this team has this year, and they don't give up. Like, they were down against Niagara. They were down. They had Ottawa fight all the way back, and they stuck in there, sealed the deal. And this will be one of their biggest tests with Xavier Moon, 3-time MVP in this league, a guy that's a 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time champion with Edmonton. And this will truly be one of their biggest tests. But the thing that you said about Winnipeg that I mean, sits with me and makes me worried about the Sea Bears is the fact that, again, they broke, but they didn't. They what's the saying? You
They bend,
break,
but they didn't break.
Yeah, bend, but you don't break. We can't. Yeah, it's not a saying we use here in Brampton because we've been on a heater all year. But just kidding. Don't look at the second half of the season. But you bend and you don't break, right? And that's exactly. I think a lot of people, like you said, thought that this team was going to be completely different when they lost their guys, and out of nowhere now, they bent, but they didn't break. So that's what makes them scary. And they're clicking on all cylinders, it seems, to again, us folks in the East. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited. I mean, the place is going to be buzzing. You've got superstars in this finals. You've got guys that are dialed in, locked in. And finally, we have something to be super excited about here in Brampton. The Winnipeg people travel well, too, which we're excited for. And this, I think, Joey, I mean, talking to people today, it could be one of the, and I think at least is one of the much anticipated or one of the most anticipated finals in CEBL history.
I highly agree. And, you know, we talked about this before. The owners are brothers, right? David Asper and Lenny Asper. John McTavish asking, is Mark Cuban flying in? We haven't seen him yet, but who knows who will show up. And Chris Wiggins delivering his picks. He says he's got Brampton winning tonight, Winnipeg winning Saturday, and Brampton winning.
No. Don't buy any of that. Wiggins said I was trolling him when I said Vancouver was going to win it all. And then I made the honest pick. I genuinely thought Vancouver was going to win it all. And then I think this is a troll job, Joey. I think this is a troll job. I like Wiggins, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that one bit.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Hey, Wiggy, man, come on if you want. I don't know what you're doing. It's like, what? I'm in Eastern time. It's 5:45 Eastern time. So what is that your time?
2:46 in the afternoon.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you
in
doing
the
at this
afternoon,
point?
Vancouver side.
Hey, Phyllis, what's up? We got Phyllis in the chat. Good to see you here. She says, "Go Sea Bears." Happy to have you along, Phyllis. And yeah, hey, I'm not ready to give my predictions just yet here as they finally put the official game or pregame clock on. Less than 90 minutes now until tip-off here on what's going to be the fun and the first ever CEBL Finals. But the other thing, too, Matt, it's kind of weird because it's a series, but it's not a best-of-7. It's not even a best-of-5. Like, if you lose this game, the pressure's on you. So in a weird way, there's this feel-out phase of, hey, if you win, you didn't eliminate the other team, so you can't be too comfortable. But on the same token, if you lose, you better come ready to play on Saturday in Winnipeg.
The changes that the league has made this year to the playoff formatting has been one of the best moves that we've seen in this league's history, I think. Not only was the 24-game expansion that started last year a great move because everything went down to the wire. Like, this league goes down to the final stretch of the last inning, or whatever you want to call it, whatever sports analogy you want to use, every year. It's such a parody, and we saw that happen this year with Ottawa. They snuck into the playoffs as the 5 seed going into their last game, and then were able to secure a spot, right? They bumped Montreal, even Vancouver and Winnipeg. But that guy's high. No one's explaining that, man. Just had to Google. But this is another one of those, like, the 24-game season added that extra juice to the end of it. And it brought it down to the wire where everyone was holding their breaths for what's going to happen. And then this extended finals, I mean, it's nice, man. It just gives guys time to get comfortable. Like, if you have a bad game, sure, there's pressure because you have to win the second game or you're toast. But it gives you that little more, that extra room to breathe for half a second and kind of get used to your opponent. And you have tape and you have to drop another game plan other than just a 40-minute ball game that would decide the champion. So who doesn't want more Canadian Elite Basketball content, Canadian Elite Basketball League content? And again, 2 opponents like this, I mean, I hope this goes 3. A lot of people, we're talking to producer Dan Gladman, who's behind the keys tonight and running the show here for the broadcast, and he said, I hope it goes 3 as well. I mean, in my opinion, you're crazy if you don't hope this goes 3 games, because selfishly, we want as much basketball as we can get. And I want that, like, it's storylines. It builds storylines too, right? Xavier Moon, let's say he comes out tonight and drops 30. What's he going to do game 2, right? Comes out flat, but then game 3 drops 40 and they win it, right? Like, there's more to follow now. There's more of a build-up, more anticipation, and you need that. You need that in order to not only draw eyes and entertainment value to the league, but also just from a basketball perspective. I want to see Xavier Moon play 3 games. I want to see Sean East and Trenton Flowers play 3 games.
And I just want to bring up Cam. What's up, Cam? I think we need to change all playoff where they're best of 3. I'm not opposed to it. I think that would be unreal if we can do that. Also, for those just tuning in, welcome in. This is Game Day Live Special Edition. Game 1 of the CEBL Finals about to get underway in this very loud CAA Center. Fans will be coming in here in about the next half hour or so, and they start rolling in. It's going to be a capacity crowd, a record crowd here tonight at the CAA Center, and there will be a lot of teal in the crowd as well. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Holt Dental, Zwieke, Mondays, and Fins on Grant, the official headquarters of the Target Score Teal Party Watch Party. They have the games on TSN and CBC with the sound on, so make sure we're all flooding to Finn McCool's. Make a reservation if there's still time, or just run over there. Zwieke also having a watch party on their campus at 65 Trotter Bay. Finn McCool's is at the Grant Park Mall parking lot. Can't miss them. And we're in for a dandy here tonight. The one thing is, who are we looking at there? Who's that?
This Mr. Boy, Alex Campbell. Walking by.
Oh, Flex. All the stars are out.
Xavier Moon right in front of us. Xavier Moon, the old Western connection here. Moon talking to former Calgary assistant coach Mike Gerling.
I'm looking at our you can tell we have a lot of Winnipeg fans in our poll here. It's 100% Winnipeg right now. But realistically speaking here too, I mean, it's kind of weird. Who's the pressure on in this game? For me, the pressure's 100% on Brampton. I think you got to win this game at home and put some pressure on Winnipeg going back. And there might be a little bit of, I don't want to say that you're leaning back on, and the players certainly are thinking this way, but I'm curious if there's a subconscious to this, Matt, where if you lose this game, we got 2 back home to take it home, right? If we lose 1, we're not going to lose 2. But I think this is a bit of a weird game. It kind of messes with you a little bit after you go to this winner-take-all playoff format for the first 2 rounds. to now it's like, if you win, it's not over. But if you lose, there's that pressure. And I think the pressure today, personally, falls on Brampton wanting their only game at home to be a win. They don't, having to go up against the Winnipeg crowd's going to be tough. And they might be a little extra juiced here tonight, too, if they got a crowd they haven't seen before.
Yeah, I'll tell you for free, Joey. I think it's a no-brainer that this is a must-win game for Brampton. I would tell you right now, I would not like the idea of having to go play in front of 10, 12,000 people at the Canada Life Center for not only one game, but 2 games. That would make me really uncomfortable. I know people will say, well, they did it on the road. They beat them in that game. But, I mean, that game to me was influenced by a number of things. You can watch the tape and decide at home. I don't think that the teams look the same either as they do now. I mean, there are changes. I mean, less for Brampton than Winnipeg, obviously, without their 3 big guys there. And but at the same time, too, I mean, I oddly enough, like you say, I think there's less pressure on Winnipeg to win. I think the other thing, too, is Brampton was on a pedestal so much this season, whether it was the 7-1 start, the bringing in of guys like Shawnee and Keon Ambrose Hilton, Trenton Flowers, even the Jameer Nelson Jr. talk. It was so much that it was almost like, yeah, we have to win or this is all for nothing kind of vibe. And I know people probably around the team probably won't tell you that, but I certainly get the vibe that this is kind of win or bust right now. And that's a sign of a good team. I mean, any management around a basketball team or any sports team will tell you that, but I find it really hard to believe that going to Winnipeg down 1, you could pull out 2 wins. Any team, no matter who you are, considering the crazy environment, we talk to guys around the league and they always say to us one of the best yet scariest places to play is Winnipeg because it's exciting. You want to be in front of the big crowd. You want to be the guy to hit the shot on the road as a spoiler or a villain. But the non-fun part is when you're on the other side of it. And there's a lot of pressure on the line in a series like the finals. So I would say this is must-win for Brampton. I mean, I would not be thrilled to be going to Winnipeg down 1-0 and have to win 2 tough games on the road. Because what's the saying? Fool me once, shame on me. Or shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Something like that. Look up the George Bush clip in the J. Cole song. Shout out to the Guelph Nighthawks, where he made his debut as a member of the Shooting Stars. But I don't think you can beat Winnipeg twice on the road, so you have to win the first game. And for Winnipeg, as crazy as it sounds too, I'm somewhat comfortable if I lose this game. I'm still not. I feel like I'm not in a crazy position. Look at this. This is crazy. A ball just got stuck on top of the net. Never know what you're going to see. But it just seems like all the pressure's on Brampton. I would say absolutely. What about you? Do you think all the pressure's on Brampton?
I think
said that, but do you agree with that, or is there something in
no,
there?
I agree with it 100%, but I also think that's a bit of the, for a Winnipeg standpoint, beyond the players' control. If they win this game, there's going to be a FOMO for ticket sales, right? If they win, people are going to want to get their tickets on Saturday knowing that, hey, they could close it out on that Saturday game, right? If you want to play in front of the biggest crowd, it kind of starts here in Brampton. The other thing is, you don't want to have that. You're going back home. This team has traveled. They ended the season in Vancouver. Then they had to come home and play a game against Saskatoon, the first round of the playoffs. Then they had to head back to Vancouver, play that playoff game in the Western Conference Final. Then they were back in Winnipeg for 1 day of practice, and yesterday they arrived in Brampton. So they've been in 3 time zones in the last week. So this is they've got a little bit of a weird wear and tear going on here too. So a win here is huge because it's your last road game. You can leave it all on, and then for the remainder of this series, you get home tomorrow. You've got Friday to practice and kind of get settled in at home. You sleep in your own bed. You've got Saturday, and regardless of what happens Saturday, you can go to your back home, your normal routines, and you play again Sunday. So I think this is a game, though, that Winnipeg can't take lightly. I think Brampton is going to come out with that tenacity, knowing that this is a big game for them to win, and we'll see where it goes from there. I do like the fact, though, I brought up a comment from Cam earlier talking about, the benefit of the league and the storylines. I kind of like that we get to stew in this after today, right? I mean, Dee and I have a show tomorrow morning I think it's going to be at 9:30 Eastern time, 8:30 Central. If you can't wake up for it, it'll be on replay and in podcast form. But, it's nice that we get to stew in these stories a little bit and see, where this goes from here and where this is going to take us. So, this is going to be a very fun, a very fun three games series, or 3 days, I should say, 4 days. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind seeing it go 3. As you said, the more basketball, the better. I would enjoy that. But I really like that we get to kind of break down game 1 over a couple of days, hear how the players kind of act in the moment, or right after the reaction right after the fact, and how it changes going into Saturday morning. I really enjoy this finals, and to what Cam said, I think it would be kind of cool if we had this throughout the year. But I think also for Brampton, they gotta help and expose Winnipeg's size off the hop, man. Like, they've got DJ Burns that's doing a lot of work right now. But if their bigs can get into it, this could be trouble for Winnipeg too. We talked about the elite guards, but one thing we haven't talked about are the bigs for Brampton.
Yeah, the bigs for Brampton are they could cause a little bit of trouble. I mean, I was talking to some Brampton guys before the game, or before the warm-ups here, and I mean, not that they're overly confident, but they feel good with how their big play is going right now, man. I mean, Tegra Eze has been a kind of a late unlocked addition to the team, even though he's been with the team all season, but they've unlocked his game a little bit. Matthew Moncrief, as we said before, he's a double-double machine. He'll put up 10 points, 10 boards, or if he's putting up 5 points, he'll grab 15 boards. Keon Ambrose Hilton, same thing as Tegra Eze. You can file him under the same title there, an unlocked addition. He's kind of coming into his own here late in the season, but I don't know, Joey. I mean, I'm not going to discount DJ Burns. I'm not saying you are, but the last thing I would want to do is think I have anything won against this Winnipeg team, because when you think you've got a team down to their last legs, like a depleted roster, and they somehow come out and beat the top seed in the West in the conference finals, I mean, it's hard to kind of work matchups, but I know for a fact that the bigs on this Brampton team are certainly playing their best basketball right now, along with the guards, which is going to make them really tough. The guard stuff in itself is going to be this is going to be an all-time battle. But the bigs, I think it'll come down to that. And one of the things we said too is, like, Tegra Eze, who has arguably been the best big, he had 12 boards against Niagara the other day, which I don't think anybody saw coming, but they've created this avenue for him to kind of play his own smooth game, and he's playing with confidence. And that's the scariest thing that a player like that can have, right? A guy that finally gets a shot, gets an opportunity to kind of do his thing, and now he's all of a sudden nails. Like, he is literally controlling the pace down low. He's been a good defender. He can run the floor. And my curiosity is around it, whether or not Winnipeg has a guy that can run with him. I mean, you mix guys like Hildebrandt, Burns. I mean, that's obviously a tough task, but then you throw in Keon Ambrose Hilton and Moncrief. I mean, Moncrief plays like he's 7'3", and that's a scary thing too. And if you get him on his best day, it's going to be really hard for any team to stop him, let alone a team that might be a little depleted down low. So the big battle will certainly be something that's under the microscope, and I'm really curious to see how head coach Rainbow comes out and draws the game plan, because you certainly you have to think that that's on top of their to-do list in terms of scouting heading into this game, because that seems to be the biggest battle point for Brampton, or the biggest advantage point, it would seem, for the Honey Badgers.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in, this is Game Day Live, Game 1 of the CBL Finals getting underway in a little less than 75 minutes here. I'm Joey Slattery. That's Matt Bonomi. He's giving us a look at warm-ups here before the game gets started. But I agree with you. I think the biggest thing for Winnipeg is just they can't ball watch this week, right? And this is what they've been doing really well. They lost the rebound battle, against Saskatoon, but they fought, and they made it hard, and they took away the second chance opportunities. I think the biggest thing this time around is making sure that everybody's boxing out and going after those rebounds and securing the possession before they go into transition. They've done a good job of that. I'm not really concerned about that, but I think that is the scouting report here for Winnipeg in this game. But the key matchup, as much as we're talking about everybody, that could have an impact, the two guys that are absolutely going to have an impact on this game, and they need to, if either team wants to win, is Sean East and Xavier Moon. I mean, these are two elite guards going head-to-head. We've got the three-time CEBL MVP, last year's MVP runner-up going head-to-head. And Sean East is a guy, for a lot of that stretch where they weren't playing well, Sean East has gone to the summer league. So now you've got two elite guards going head-to-head, and I'm really excited to see that matchup. I think, though, the advantage goes to Xavier Mood, not because of any offensive advantage. It's just Sean East is going up against one of the better defenders, too, at point guard, a guy that doesn't only get steals, but can block shots. So it's going to be a tough night for Sean East, and he has to do the same on the defensive end for Xavier Moon, especially trying to slow him down when he puts that jet into sixth gear and tries to go down the middle from coast to coast.
I could confidently say, Joey, if Xavier Moon played a full season, he would have been on my MVP ballot. He probably would have been pretty darn high on that too. Sean East was on my MVP ballot, but man, Xavier Moon is a treat. He's the gift that keeps on giving, and I agree with you completely too. Like, we've seen Sean East at points throughout the season where he has played and defenses or different teams have shut him down in a sense where he doesn't get his 20 points, 25 points, but he finds other ways to contribute. And that's arguably when Sean East is in his scariest form, right? And the one thing I would say about East is the best part for him is, you need him scoring 20 points tonight, but if he doesn't, he'll give you 15 assists, 14 assists. He set a record. I believe the number was 13 or 14. He set a Honey Badgers single game playoff record against Ottawa the other night in the conference semifinals. But he finds other ways to score, and having Trent Flowers now allows him to kind of get that breather. If he doesn't need to score 30 points, he can score 20. He can get away with 15, and there are other guys that will supplement the offense, right? But it will be something to watch, the defensive stop, because they saw Sean. Like, Sean lit him up for 38 in Winnipeg on national television. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen again. And not because I don't think Sean's capable, but because I think Mike Rainbow's going to drop a game plan that certainly isn't going to allow him to get that many shots, or at least force him to take shots. That will be tough makes, and you live with it. Xavier Moon is one of those guys that to me can just hit from anywhere. I watch that guy play, and the first thing that comes to mind is Unconscious, where it's like, again, he's a vet in this league. He knows the ins and the outs. He knows the tricks, and he knows how to create enough space to put up offense that will make you shake your head at times. And again, he's not afraid to take over a ball game. Like, this is Teddy's team. This was Teddy's team until Xavier came here, until he got the run there late in the season. And for him, I want to say, the silver lining for Winnipeg is Teddy goes down, but the silver lining is you have a guy that's experienced and knows what to do in these big game situations that I wouldn't second guess anything that guy does. So him against East, I don't know who the players to watch are on the broadcast tonight, but if they aren't Moon and East, I don't know what we're doing here.
I agree with you. If you haven't already, give this channel a subscription, give the video a like, share it with your friends, follow us on Instagram at Target Score Pod. I'm at Joey Slattery TV. And what's yours, Bonomi? At Matt Bonomi?
Yeah, nice and simple, Joey. We keep things simple here in the Flower City.
And the Flower City is about to have a big night here, and that's one thing that Mike Rainbow talked about today too. With the firepower that they have, you talked about Cam Tyson. We've talked about Trent Flowers. Everybody knows about Sean East. It's just a matter of giving up the most difficult shots possible. They're going to get them. It's just making it as difficult as possible going throughout the night. But it's going to be a good game nonetheless. We should probably start wrapping up here, Matt. We got some work to do to get ready for this game as well. And we are going to have the post-game show. So I know a lot of the Winnipeggers that are there probably going to start a little sooner than normal. We're going to get our post-game interviews. We got our buddy Eli from Scarborough helping out too. So if you've noticed on social media, we got some great photos coming in on the Target Score Pod. Thanks, Eli, for helping out. He'll probably pop in on the post-game as well, give his takes here. And, we're in for a dandy tonight. It's on TSN. He had it down. Was it TSN 5, that guy, Ty?
5.
TSN 5 on CBC, wherever you get CBC, CBC Gem, TSN Plus, and YouTube as well. So get on there. We'll be on the call. Matt Bonomi and I are going to have your post-game analysis, highlights, and interviews. We look forward to seeing you guys all then, because this is a historic night one way or the other. It's the first ever Game 1 of the finals. It's not one game.